early 1800s were turbulent times for Spain. The country was in a state of political and economic turmoil. The once mighty Spanish Empire was crumbling. Its grip on its colonies was weakening, and the treasury was depleted. On top of this, the Spanish throne was embroiled in controversy, further dividing the nation. This instability made Spain vulnerable to outside forces, and lurking in the shadows was a cunning and ambitious Napoleon Bonaparte. Little did the people of Puertollano know that their small town would soon be caught in the crossfire of a fight for freedom. By 1808, Napoleon's armies were marching across Europe, conquering nations and redrawing borders. Spain, weakened by internal strife, became a prime target. Under the guise of friendship, Napoleon tricked the Spanish king, Charles IV, and his heir Ferdinand, forcing them to abdicate. With the Spanish monarchy effectively dismantled, Napoleon placed his own brother, Joseph Bonaparte, on the Spanish throne. The Spanish people, however, were not content to be ruled by a foreign king. On May 2nd, 1808, the citizens of Madrid rose up in rebellion against the French. This uprising, later immortalized in Francisco Goya's haunting masterpiece, the 2nd of May, 1808, sparked a wildfire of resistance that spread throughout the country. From the bustling cities to the quiet countryside, Spaniards from all walks of life took up arms, marking the beginning of the Spanish War of Independence. Puertollano, a modest town strategically nestled in the plains of La Mancha, was far from the grand palaces of Madrid, yet it was not immune to the turmoil engulfing the nation. Its location, at a crossroads connecting major cities like Ciudad Real and Cordoba, made Puertollano a place of strategic importance. Word of the uprising in Madrid and the subsequent French reprisals soon reached Puertollano. Fear and uncertainty gripped the town. The French army, known for its discipline and ruthlessness, represented a formidable foe. However, the spirit of defiance that had ignited in Madrid quickly spread to Puertollano. The townspeople, though lacking the military might of Napoleon's Grand Army, possessed a fierce determination to defend their homeland. The French viewed Puertollano as a strategic asset, crucial for maintaining their lines of communication and supply. They aimed to secure the town and quell any potential uprising. But they underestimated the resolve of the people of Puertollano. The arrival of the French in the town was not met with passive acceptance, but with fierce resistance. As the French sought to impose their authority, the people of Puertollano, inspired by the defiance they witnessed across the country, began to organize. Local men, farmers, artisans, and shopkeepers transformed themselves into citizen soldiers, forming militias and joining the ranks of the growing guerrilla resistance. Armed with whatever weapons they could gather, old hunting rifles, farming tools repurposed for combat, they launched a campaign of harassment against the occupying French forces. The rugged terrain surrounding Puertollano, with its hills, gullies, and vast plains, became a battleground. The Spanish guerrillas, intimately familiar with the land, utilized their knowledge to their advantage. They staged surprise attacks on French patrols, ambushing supply convoys, and then melting back into the countryside, frustrating the French efforts to maintain control. Among the brave men and women who took up arms, some names emerged from the fog of war to become local legends. Names like insert the name of a local guerrilla leader resonated through the whispers of the townspeople, recounted with a mix of admiration and fear. These leaders, often fighting with limited resources and facing overwhelming odds, embodied the spirit of resistance that pulsed through the heart of Spain. The French occupation of Puertollano, while marked by moments of brutal repression, failed to extinguish the flames of resistance. The guerrillas, with their hit-and-run tactics and unwavering determination, made controlling the region a costly and frustrating endeavor for the French. The constant threat of attack disrupted supply lines, drained resources, and chipped away at the morale of the occupying forces. However, the war took a heavy toll on Puertollano. The town, caught in the crossfire of a larger conflict, suffered its share of hardship and loss. The French, facing stubborn resistance and seeking to make an example of those who dared defy them, often resorted to reprisals. Homes were destroyed, crops were burned, and innocent lives were lost. Yet, from the ashes of war, a spirit of resilience emerged. The people of Puertollano, having endured years of occupation and hardship, began the arduous task of rebuilding their lives and their town. The war, while leaving its scars on the landscape and the soul of Puertollano, also forged a stronger sense of community and national identity.